Okay, for now, I'm going to just keep it pinned on Gabe because he's kind of the person who got this rolling. And then I'll just do a quick presentation if that's all right, kind of explaining what we did, how we got the results we got, and then we'll just go jump right into question time. Does that sound all right?
Sounds
Yes.
good. Sounds good.
Cool. And so, Gabe, the main thing you're looking at is how to add extra, I guess, sort of add-on services so that students can study on their own, right?
Yep. Yeah, because many students quit because of Juku, right?
Right.
And that's what Juku does. I used to work in Juku for 10 years, and they just help the students study better. And sometimes they don't even study; they just sleep in there,
Right. Right.
right?
Right.
So,
Yeah. No.
I
It's
mean, there's got to be a way to teach students to be more motivated to study by themselves and make it more effective, right?
sure.
I
Yeah. And
mean, parents are wasting their money to see their kids are sleeping, right? So yeah,
yeah. No. It depends. I think on a lot of things. We're focusing more on the younger kids, like from
yeah,
three to
younger
like
kids too.
eight.
Of course, younger kids
And
too.
then, yeah, once you get into the, later elementary school or junior high
Yeah,
school, then, yeah, it's, how do we get them motivated? And so we can kind of,
yeah.
brainstorm and chat about that. The reason I'm going to talk about mainly how we got started recently with our new system that we
All
used
right.
to pass ACAN, to get the kids studying and passing the ACAN. But we realized it was
Okay.
really effective, and we can use it for a lot of other things.
Okay. Okay.
So let me jump in. I have a slideshow prepared here. Let me see if I can find it.
All right. Great.
All right. And so, like I said, the main thing that we were doing is using this for ACAN, and we
All right.
were, really lucky to get just everyone passed. 100% of our students that are using our curriculum passed. We did have a couple students
Great.
from outside of our school, and they, I think one student didn't pass. He was super close, but that was kind of, he didn't quite have the foundation that he needed.
Okay.
The foundation of our curriculum is the fun books. And if we talk about what the fun books, how I designed the fun books, I actually went in and I looked at the ACAN tests. So over here on the right-hand side, you can see the approximate ACAN level. So the orange book is
Okay.
kindergartners, K1, 2, 3. Then we jump into a phonics course for 1 year. And then when they're usually first or second grade of elementary school, we start with the green book, fun book 2. And so what I did is I went and just said, okay, what are the verbs in ACAN? What are the adjectives? And that's
right.
it. So the book is actually an ACAN study tool in disguise. So because of that, our students really are not studying for ACAN, but they are studying kind of, simultaneously, or they're covering the content that needs to be studied for ACAN. We do want to focus a lot more on speaking, conversation, listening. And in fact, we didn't even suggest that our students take the test until this year. And we're in our 12th or 13th year of, running a school. And personally, I thought tests aren't really that great in terms of, motivating students. I want them to be, motivated to speak and to learn on their own. But you have a lot of parents saying, we want tests and we want results. And then once we offered this extra course, it turns out it's another, source of side income. And once the students pass, they are more motivated. And it is great for marketing and maybe motivating other students. So on that note, our program originally had the at-home challenge, which is a series of QR codes, and the students have these every week. They go home and they'll watch videos of teachers. We have 5 or 6 teachers. They play some games. They watch their songs, and that was working on its own. So we thought, let's convert that into an ACAN study system as well. So we went in and we created another series of QR codes. If the kids have a tablet at home, that's amazing. I think most kids don't have tablets. They're just using their smartphones, which is fine as well. You can, get the same effect out of it. So yeah, that's it. And we created a series of QR codes for each level. So if a student was taking ACAN 5, we would have 3 sets of QR codes per month. So 1 a week and then 1 week off. And we did 2 months. So starting 2 months before the test, we jumped in. So that would be 6 pages of QR codes. Each QR code, or each page has, looks like about 7 different activities. And we thought, well, they already have the foundation, so this will just be good to help them get into test-taking mode, help them do the sort of drills that they're going to see or the activities that they're going to see in the tests. Maybe we don't study enough of those in the class or through the books. So let's give them some test-style questions. But again, we have a lot of games and sort of activities that we can use to make it much more colorful and exciting for the kids. So when they scan a QR code, we also have a digital format where they just have a list of activities. So here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are the seven. These are the seven activities in each printout here. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have an analog sort of paper-based format, or they could just jump in and do the digital format. Either way is fine. And I'll just show you some pictures of what these are. Well, you might have. Hey, I've seen this guy before. Wait a minute. If I put these on, maybe you would recognize him. And so we do. We've got a lot of silly videos. We're having fun with that. And then, just the sort of, you have a conversation, fill in the blanks based on, the context. We have some sort of unscramble the sentences, put them in the right order. You would see this a lot. They would have Japanese translations and they have to do the English. We just go right, without any sort of hints. We just see, can they, build it based on the, the verbs and the nouns and the sentence structure. We have some spelling practice to review the words they're going to see in a lot of the other drills. Yeah, and let's see. So we have just a lot of listening. Here they would hit play and listen and then fill in or click the best answer. We have pictures as well, where you'll hear an audio cue. Who knows the answer? I know the answer. So things like that. Just typical stuff you would find on an ACAN test or any of the standardized tests. But instead of looking at a black and white, printout, I think this makes it much more exciting. And for the kids that are already doing the at-home challenge, it's kind of second nature. They know what to do. They just jump right in. And so that's it. Yeah. If you were doing level 4, we have more reading-based activities, some of the review from the fun books. We have different sort of reading tools where they can go in and click each word, hear the audio. They can see the Japanese translations if they need it. And then, so the way we actually implement this, this self-study program, we want our kids to be doing it at home, but for the kids that maybe just don't have the motivation or the setup, we say, okay, well, you can come to class before, you can come to school before your class, you can stay after your class, and you can use our tablets. And so we'll have either a regular, these are just Windows based computers. You can use an iPad, you can use a Fire, you can use anything you want as long as it's a browser. And we've just basically created a kiosk where they click the start button, they log in, and then they go and they just run through their activities. And hopefully they'll continue that at home. Some of the students never came to the self-study lab, they just did it all at home. But yeah, either way, once we're doing this, you just have more ways, more time spent studying to prepare for the test. So yeah, in terms of the pricing that we suggested to our students, this is I think one of the ads that we give to parents. So we told them, all right, you get 3 weeks of QR codes, but it's a 1 month program. And so it's 2,000 yen to sign up to join. That means you can use the self-study lab, or you don't have to. And by the way, for students that couldn't come early and couldn't stay late, we had 1 slot available on, I think, a Saturday, where anyone could come and just jump in. And we had a Japanese manager just walking around helping out. Yeah. And so, yeah, in a nutshell, it's pretty straightforward. I can show you any of the, the actual activities themselves, or we can, talk about any of the way we, implemented it. But let's see, I think that is all for my slideshow. Yes! So, yeah. What do you think, Gabe? Any questions to start?
Well, that sounds pretty cool. Can you also apply that when you have, like, you remember I told you I bought a big TV screen, right?
Yes.
So I have that touch. Do you do that with the touch screen in your school?
So all of our activities, yeah, I mean, I can fire these off on a tablet. I can fire them off on the screen. And I did. When we started, I was trying to, get the kids into it. Yeah. So we would actually do it for all of the classes and just say, hey guys, let's try a few of these things. Oh, by the way, do you want to try ACAN? It's, it's like this. If you can do this, then you can do, the
Very
test.
cool.
And we had a good percentage of our students sign up and try. So, yeah.
So one last question.
Go for
when
it.
when you have students coming in early or leaving late, you don't charge extra for that? Is that for free?
Well, that's part of the fee here. It's part of the
I
2,000
started the
yen.
fee. It's already that's the fee right there. Okay, okay.
Right, and so
Okay.
I think we have a limit of I think it was like 5 or 6 students. So if 6
Okay.
it's not actually there. It's not designed to make a ton of money off of the lab, but in a sense, we just have an open space. And if you don't have that lobby or that place where students can sit down and use the tablets, then it's going to be a little bit trickier. But we don't need to necessarily charge a lot for that. I didn't think.
Of course not. Of course not. It's just studying. Of course not. Yeah, I wouldn't charge a lot for that too.
Great. By the
It
way,
sounds pretty good.
thank you. Let me mention to everyone else. I see a lot of people are muted. If you want to just jump in with questions in the chat,
Yeah.
I'm monitoring the chat as well. So any questions that pop up there, I can answer those. I can talk about those as well. So yeah, but the big TV screens, if people aren't using those, I highly recommend that, regardless of whether you want to do ACAN or anything else. It's night and day how much easier lessons are to teach and keep the kids sort of focused. As sad as it is, like screen time, kids want to look at the screens.
Yeah.
And it's before we had the TVs, we're like, here's a flash card, it's an Apple, and they're like, ah. But if I took a video of myself, of me just with it's an Apple, the same exact thing, but put it on the TV, they're like, oh, it's a TV, and it's like, this is kind of lame, but yeah, it works. So
Yeah, I bet.
okay, so there's a question from Debbie, and it's, is there a theme or a story that connects the activities between the QR codes on a page? And for us, the first time around, level 5, we just thought, let's just kind of do a bunch of vocab, and because there's no real reading, reading passages in ACAN 5, we didn't think it was that big of a concern. But once we got to ACAN 4 and ACAN 3, yes. Each week has one story, and I went and cherry-picked all of the vocab that I thought was relevant, created drills based on that, created spelling activities based on that. So let's see if I can find, I've got so many windows open here, but let's jump in. And let's see, so here I am, and this would be the ACAN 4, this is ACAN 5. So if we looked at a sample ACAN 5,
Like the gator in listening.
what's that? Yeah.
The gator in listening is good.
All right, so let's go here. It's going to be... So if I jump into ACAN 4, we can look at a few activities and just see what those look like. Let this load here for a second. We'll go full screen. Okay, so it looks like we have a story, a day at Brent's school. And this is one of the review stories in a fun book. So we have our regular 10 units, and then the back of the book is actually all test-style drills and additional readings. So then here would be, I can just click on this, and the students could load the actual reading. So a day at Brent's school. Brent is a student. He loves studying math. So they would read this, and then they go back, and when they're finished, if they wanted to click it, I've completed that. Now, Adrian Sensei, he actually goes in, and he reads the story, and explains, answers the questions.
Read it together. If you want to rule.
So he's going to read the whole story. So if they do it, maybe they need the listening, maybe they don't, but it's just a different way to
the fourth class
get more
of the
practice
day
time
is
in.
PE. In this class, Mr. Hulk teaches the students how.
All right, so he goes and reads it, and then he does the questions at the end, I believe, for this one. And then there are, we can click that one as finished. Brooke Sensei goes and does another worksheet, which is more of the,
One?
the ACAN style problems. So if you want to watch the videos, we've got it. If you want to do them, I recommend kids just jump in and do the problems on their own. I think that's more exciting for them. So here they'd go in, we could start. my clothes before I take a bath. All right, let's see. I wear my clothes. No, I take off my clothes.
Take off.
All right, and
Jeff?
So yeah, nothing super exciting here, but they can jump in and do that on their own, or they can watch Brooke Sensei. We have some speaking recognition apps, sentence unscramble. So here they would actually have sentences from the story that they read. So we could jump in. Let's see. This one's a little bit longer. This one didn't get vetted. This is the first week. We actually made them much easier. So they don't. This one is a little bit difficult based on the context. But yeah, everything else should be pretty smooth and fun for them. So yeah, there is a theme, especially for the higher levels, whatever that main story is. Yeah, we build everything around that. So thank you for the question, Debbie. I hope that helps. And another thing about these, we only did 2 months, but I think 3 months would probably be more ideal for studying for ACAN. And then in the off season, we realized, hey, we've got students in our regular classes, they're not reading at the level they should be, or they're not reading quite as well as the other kids. And if you have students doing the standard at-home challenges every week, then the ones that don't do it, even though they're not, necessarily bad at English, they're just getting less exposure. You're going to create this imbalance. And, it's not fair to the kids who are motivated to teach down to the weaker students. And it's kind of not fair, for everyone. So we thought, what if we just, invite or highly recommend the reading sort of catch-up course, or damage control course, whatever you want to call it, just for the kids that need a little more assistance, maybe getting that initial motivation. So we're going to do that as well, not just for ACAN, but for reading comprehension, and a lot of different things. Is that all right?
Yeah, it's a really good program, I think. But yeah, you need a screen. If you really want to motivate the kids and make it like a playful, kind of like a study time. You need a big screen with a touch screen right there, So
yeah, and we can do.
You need that.
We do, and I'll do the activities, and by doing them in class a couple of times, then they can go home and they know what to do. So yeah, after that, once kids get into the routine, into the habit, it's nice because I know they're going to be studying, reviewing, and doing everything at home. They come in, we can play, we can do different things, we can watch some fun videos. And there's less pressure, like, I have to teach the verbs and I have to, So if they are using the screens, if they're doing the at-home system, there's a lot of benefit to doing that, yeah.
When they're studying in your school, do they create groups, kind of like what we do in the US when we do like study parties and stuff? Do they do that, like with their friends and stuff in your school? Do they create
in my
groups?
classes? I try to get, if I have a bigger class, I'll try to get the kids to split off into pairs. But in class, I try to do less screen time in class if I know they're going to do it at home. So we'll have the Battle Eggs cards, the pet cards. We have sticker cards. We have a physical profile card. And I want them doing hands-on things. So, for example, I'll say, all right, everyone, today you can get 4 stickers. And they find their stickers. If they don't know, I'm not really explaining this very well, but they're all randomized. Nobody has the same place for their sticker. So everyone picks up the word cat, the picture for cat. They've got to find it. Everyone has a different place. So okay, I can't find it. How do you spell cat? C-A-T, or what's this? So we try to do communication through the hands-on activities, and then after I would say, okay, find a partner, and okay, we'll start with what did you get, and then okay, today I got cat, dog, and they can choose their own stickers randomly. So it's I got cat, dog, so they get to review that way. And then as they get more and more advanced, I'll say, okay, please, spell out a word and see if your partner can, hear it and say the word. Okay, C-A-T. It's cat. And then after that, ask, do you have cat on your card? So yeah, we do a lot of pair work, but I really want them to be speaking and using English, less in a game format and more of an actual, just practical, speaking. So.
Yeah, that's the way it should be. Yeah, that's the way it should be. That's cool. It's a really, really nice program.
Great, thank you.
So can you incorporate this program for, like, you said it's mostly ACAN, but can you incorporate it for other things? Like, for example, like kids struggle with other, I really don't want some of the students to quit for Juku, right? That's the thing, right?
Right.
So could you incorporate it for any other subject, you think?
I mean, the way it's structured now, I'll jump back into my site here. The way it's structured now is that teachers can, wow, it's really big face there. Hi. Let's see, where am I at? I want to go to the Go Zone. Looks good here. So, all right, I'm in the Go Zone. So the way this works is the Go Zone is actually our library of 7,700 resources. Everything from songs to videos to printable, just everything under the sun. And anything that we make is in here. And so, for example, if you want to use pet cards, and here are all the pet cards, right? I can actually click down here, and I have all of the pet cards.
Wow.
And so then after that, I can build games. If I wanted to just do flashcards, it's kind of boring, but let's just say I wanted to go in and do a flashcard activity. All right, so I get, what is it, guys? It's a red alligator. Okay, when is his birthday? It's July 17th. So, I can have this on the big screen, or I can, do something that's maybe more exciting, like a game. I can't do 100 vocab words for most of the games, but let's say we wanted to do something like, what would be a good game for them? We could do spelling or chaos cups. I'll just do, memory matching. I think it'll restrict it to 30 words. Even with 30, that's a little bit silly. So, no, way too many. Go back. All right, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to undo. I'm going to do just the red pets today. We're going to practice just the red pets. And yeah, so we can do a whole lesson based on this. So I'll have them do a little spelling practice. I'll click the pin. And I'll have them do, a game here, and then guess the pick, flip and find. So I choose a couple games, and maybe we'll do which pick. It sounds good. All right. After I've picked a few games, I go back home, and up here I have my pins, and that's it. So I have an assignment kind of established here. I can actually share a homework link, and when I do that. Then yeah, you can send them home with that, and it's great. So then they'll just go through and do each one. They click it. All right, let's do some spelling. I feel like these are going to be kind of long because they're 2 words: red alligator, orange ghost. But it should be all right. So yeah, looks like this one is the what is that? Oh, this is their name. Yeah, we wouldn't actually.
This is a red ghost.
This is a red ghost.
It has 96 ppp.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Okay. So it is Red Ghost. Sorry,
R.
I don't even know how to. I don't know how to play my own games. Okay, Red Ghost.
D.
So we go here. G.
H. O. S. T. This is a red ghost. It has 96 ppp.
Let's leave that. All right. So I get a blue sun, whatever that is. So I collect my pets. But yeah. So you can create these activities, and we're gonna have a lot of different ways to sort of approach this. Right now, it's sort of a manual. You can either use the QR codes that we've created, you can use the at-home challenges that we've created, or you can go into the Go Zone and build your own lessons. It's going to take some time, though. And so what we're going to be doing from April is we'll have the digital format of the Bingo Bongo curriculum. You can copy that and then just start changing parts of it. Like, oh, I don't need the songs. You can remove the songs. Or you can start adding other, videos that you have created, upload those, and use them in that way. And we're going to have a system where the students don't have to, use the QR codes. If they don't want to, they can just access their student page, and it'll push whatever assignments the teacher has set up. So think of it like Instagram or TikTok, or that sort of endless scroll. Like, okay, but it's like one homework pops up, I do it. Next homework pops up, I do it. And it's kind of whatever the teacher decides. So yeah, it's hard to I think get the full picture without actually seeing it in action. But from April, we'll have some very cool things in the works. But yeah, there's a lot of ways to do this, and so I think the nice thing about what we have is the connectivity between the books with the videos, with the drills, and anything works seamlessly on paper, in the app, on your big touch screen, or on their screens at home. And so I think the principle is fine. You can use it for any other resources you want if you have all of those elements. I'm not really sure what other programs out there would have. I know some books have a QR code, but to really to bring it back to our very first question, like, how do we motivate? And so I find that these games are really effective for ages like 4 to like 8 or 9. Once they get into like, third or fourth grade in elementary school, I think they just get more into Minecraft or hanging out with friends or it's really hard to to crack that nut, but I think we're on the right track.
Are kind of like I don't know if you ever met Bill Derry. Bill, what's his name? Ben Derry. I forgot his name, but his style of teaching is like he just let kids be kids, right?
Yeah.
So he just lets them do whatever they want to do, and that's how they learn. They a sense of wonder grows in them, and they learn English naturally, right?
Yes.
That's my style of teaching as well. I let my kids come in, and I don't want to force them to study. Well, they have to study, but I don't want to force them to be like perplexed on the book or things like that, right? I want them to do things and learn English naturally. That's my way of teaching as well, right?
Right. And from my personal,
they're studying a lot at school already, and I don't want them to start to like get more tired here. I mean, they would hate it and they would run away, right?
Sure. No, I mean, personally, like my philosophy is I don't think I can teach a kid anything. And the reason I think that is because when I was in school, I don't remember a single thing other than the few things I wanted to learn because I was into it. Yeah. And after graduating, then I started, learning everything. Like, I'm going to do photography, I'm going to do music, just because I had a passion. Yeah. And I started learning it because I wanted to. So we need to really just spark that interest for them and give them the tools then to go home or, to do it in class, of course, as well.
That's true.
But yeah, definitely, I feel like we're just more of like leaders, coaches, motivators. You can't just say repeat after me 100 times and have a kid be like, oh, I'm going to go, I want to go to America and speak. And it's just not going to work. So
yeah. By the way, this is what I use for my school. Does this tablet work with that program? Does the Amazon Fire work?
Yeah, Fire's fine. Everything works. Our stuff is all just based on a website. So there's not really any issue there. But yeah, if you have a lot of kids in the same room, we do have like headphones they can plug in. If they're doing the speaking drills, then they use the microphone on that. But it's been great. And so if that's something that people are interested in, then you can, reach out to me.
I should make my classroom more interactive soon, right? Because I mean, that's better, I think, for kids, right?
That, and I think we're going into the phase where it's kind of expected. Yeah. And if schools...
The AI phase, right?
It is. And so I think parents have a lot of online-only options, but if they had sort of that online plus, in person, and to combine them, I think that's going to be the most effective for the people that haven't either jumped fully to the online
That's true.
Yeah.
In my experience, when I in the U.S., most of my lessons since I was in kindergarten through high school, teachers always had games. I don't know why. I mean, I'm really lucky, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's your experience, but in Gainesville, where I am from,
that's one of the best motivators.
That's how they are. They're motivated, and they teach us with games, right?
Right.
And all the time. And some people they're not that lucky, even in the U.S. Right? I was lucky. I got all my teachers every time games. Right. So I really enjoy learning whatever.
Okay, looks like I have a couple comments or questions here. So Jen, she, I think, starting 1 year ago, she jumped on board with our system, using the phone books, using the Go Zone. She says, it's completely changed the way I teach. I'm never going back. Thank you, Jen. The one thing that's really, I think, overwhelming is the amount of content that we have. And it's not sort of like, open to page one and just, do this. It's really, you have to have some... understanding of what you want to be teaching and how you want to be teaching. Yeah. And then a follow-up question. I'm going to end on this last question because we're running out of time, and I'm also going to jump into my next meeting here soon. So how many textbooks, Anna has asked, how many textbooks do students typically use in each class? So that would be back in our first slide here. Let me go back to my slides here. And where am I at? The very first, or the second slide here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, we have 5 fun books, but these are not, they're very thick books. And in total, there are over 1,200 pages. The first fun book we use for 3 years. And let's see then. And so the number of pages per lesson. For 3 years, we have them do 2 pages per lesson. When they're 4 years old, 2 pages. After that, every lesson, it's 4 pages of 4 worksheets per lesson. And we'll touch on a little bit in class, and then the rest of it they go home and do at home. So, even at this pace, we're deciding like, okay, we think ACAN is doable after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 years of studying with this system. But we want to have a really solid foundation, and make sure that we're not just studying for the test, but just as using the test to show off what we can do. And Anna, I can get you a copy of this. It's on our website somewhere, but if anyone needs a copy of this list, I will email it to you. And so, yeah, on that note, I think, yeah, hopefully, if you don't have the digital, tools yet, that's probably something that we should start thinking about. And if you do want to have, this option of letting kids study on their own before or after class, maybe as a way to motivate them a little more, then yeah, definitely try out the self-study labs.
That's
all right.
Awesome.
Well, I want to thank everyone for joining.
How much is for that program?
So right now we're charging $2,000 for the program, for the QR codes,
Okay.
and to the school we charge 500 yen. So that means the school can charge 2,000 and make 1,500 yen off that. The students also need a student membership, which is $480 per month, I think, plus tax. It's pretty reasonable. And then if a school had, say, 25 students or less, you actually just get the school membership. It's a 1-year membership. Your students will have a full year, and you can still charge the parents the regular price, and it'll pay for everything. But yeah, that's something you can just email me. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty reasonable. And if you do want to use it for ACAN or from some other way, let me know, and I'll help you get set up.
So when your students go to your school, they already know they have to do those sheets.
It's mandatory for everyone. Yeah.
Automatic.
We don't even give them the option, because if you have
That's
students
awesome.
not doing it, then it hurts the more advanced students. So
That's pretty cool. Awesome.
all right,
That's
so
great.
okay, thanks, man. Let's wrap it up here.
you,
I want to say
Thank you
thanks
so much,
again,
man.
everyone. Okay, take care.
Have a good one. Take care, man.
Yeah, bye. See you.
Bye.